Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Brickazoid's Den. At this point, you all know what time it is. It is time for another LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga level ideas video. And today we are doing the final movie. We've gone through all three trilogies and we ended up here, which is The Rise of Skywalker. Now, this is my favorite Star Wars movie, nor any of the sequels really, but this is probably the one I'm actually most excited to do for like level ideas because I just feel like this movie was a little this version of this movie was a little different from some of the other Star Wars movies, and this one I feel like could translate into Lego like levels, specific levels, really well. Just because there's a lot of different sections of like the movie, like they start on or they have like the Pisana situation, which that could be like a whole series of levels, and then as well as they move on to like the was it Kef Burr, I think it's called, the place where they met like Zori Bliss, I think her name was. Um, I think you have all those levels, and then you have like the Star Destroyer stuff, and then also you could end on Exegol as well as the other planet, the water planet there where the Death Star ruins were. I can't remember exactly what the Agent Kloss. Agent no, not Agent Kloss. Sorry, Kef Burr was the one where the Death Star ruins is. Kijimi is the Zori. No, wait, what? I'm looking through my notes here to try. Okay, so Kijimi is the planet with Zori Bliss on it, and then Kef Burr is the one where the Death Star ruins are, and then Agent Kloss is where like the Resistance is, and then Exegol is the final thing. Okay, gotta get that all straight. But anyways, um, very excited to get into this last one. Again, I was. This is probably the one I was actually most excited to be doing, just because I think it'd be the movie is just set up with all different sections that I could really use my creative mind to try and think of some fun levels to do. Although I think most of these levels are probably going to happen or are already confirmed. I know we've seen in some of the trailers some of the planets from the different from the game, or like 23 or open world planets or whatever it was. And I remember there was recently a trailer that kind of did some more background stuff on the game as well as just kind of going over some of the planets. I think it's called Building the Galaxy trailer, I think, and that kind of showed off some of the planets. I think it showed off Pisana and things like that. So yeah, we'll get going with the first thing because I feel like I've been talking too long. As we usually do, we will start off with the open world travel slash hub level, and that for this movie is going to be Rey's training course. Now, at the beginning of the Rise of Skywalker, I believe it was Princess Leia, was teaching Rey how to kind of like use the Force a little bit. And I think BB-8 was there as well, and they have like this whole training course that they did on, I believe it was Agent Kloss, and she kind of ran through it, did like Force stuff and lightsaber stuff. So I'm thinking for the first like hub level kind of deal, we could have the training course that they did. You could play as BB-8 as well as Rey, and just kind of run through that whole training course. I feel like it would have the same kind of vibe as some of the Jurassic World levels, like I remember the Jurassic World game. There was a level where you played as the Velociraptors, or like maybe a part of a level that you played as the Velociraptors, and you kind of like try to chase a pig down, I think. And I feel like it would kind of have somewhat of the same vein as that, but it's just more like this is obviously minifigures with the Force and lightsabers, so a little bit different. But yeah, I was thinking for the first, of course, hub level here, it would be Rey's like full blown training course that she does, and then tries to get like the red ribbon or something like that. I'll have to rewatch that movie again, but actually I don't really want to. But yeah, so that was the first hub level. All right, so next up we will do level 1 here, and I was thinking for level 1 we would go straight to the like full blown Pisana level. I think that's how you say the planet, where they had like the celebration situation thing going on. They met Lando there, and this is where they fly now. That whole situation with Poe Dameron. Ugh. Anyways, but basically, the idea for level 1 here is this would just be full blown Pisana, like you'd explore it, kind of go like check out the celebration area for a little bit, meet with Lando, things like that. Then you would do the whole like chase sequence where they say where he goes, they fly now, and then you would move on into the caves where the like giant snake worm thing was at in those caves. You heal that thing, and then I think after that they go to the ship that they were looking for, but that wouldn't be a part of this level. It would cut right at the giant snake slash worm. But yeah, I think this could be a fun general level because you would have two separate speeder bikes that you would be on for the chase sequence, and you'd be fighting flying troopers, jet troopers, whatever you want to call them, and you'd have like the two separate characters. I think Poe Dameron was on one with, was he on one with Finn, and then Rey had her own with Chewie, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember the how it was divided, but point is that's kind of how it would be. Like you'd be running through two different. You would switch between both of them, and then of course for the beginning part of the level, you would just kind of go through Pasana looking for just kind of walking around, exploring it a little bit. But yeah, that would be basically level one of this movie here. So as I hinted at for my talks of level one, the next open world slash hub level is going to be basically fighting Kylo Ren's TIE fighter and exploring like the whatever that ship was called, whatever the ship they were looking for on Pasana. So my idea here is maybe as like Rey and Finn, you kind of like you have to kind of maybe dodge Kylo Ren's. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it would play out here, but basically, I think from like the starting kind of point, you would explore the ship a little bit. You get like what is it? Do? Is it Do? I think it's Do. You get Do on like your character roster and things like that, and then you would go out and then you would fight Kylo Ren's shuttle or TIE fighter thing, and then obviously that would lead to Chewie getting taken and things like I believe right Chewie getting taken and things like that, thinking that he's dead, etc. So this is basically just kind of wrapping up the whole Pasana section of the film, and then you move on to like the next part, I guess. So for the next part here, we have level 2, which is basically all of Kijimi. I think that's how you say it. Kijimi planet. So this is where you go to the planet of Kijimi, and you have to kind of like I think this is going to be like more like a stealth kind of feel, very similar to some of like the levels in Lord of the Rings game, where you have to, or the Lego Lord of the Rings game, where you kind of have like you're in like a crouched position and you kind of like you can only like roll and things like that. I think it would be a little bit more, like to do like you'd be standing, but you would still have to be like a stealth level almost, and you basically you play as your characters, and you get to run through Kijimi and try and dodge troopers and things like that who are in alleyways, and then also make your way to Babu Frick's like droid repair shop, whatever he even ran. I don't even remember in the movie, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought having Kijimi as a level would be a proper thing to do because that was a fairly sizable chunk of the movie. Not too much, but it was definitely a part in the movie that was notable. So I was thinking just having those characters run through Kijimi and then making their way to Babu Frick's, whatever his name is, little repair shop, and that would lead you into the next hub level. Now we are on hub level number 3 here, and that is, I just put this down as hacking C-3PO, because I didn't really know what to do for this part, because I kind of wanted a separation between Kijimi and then the First Order Star Destroyer thing, so I didn't really know what to do there. So I decided just kind of like hacking C-3PO or whatever, or turning him to like the dark side or whatever they even did to him. It was very goofy. But I was thinking maybe playing as like BB-8, maybe Babu Frick. I don't know if you get him for like as like a free character if you play as him like that. But just kind of getting some characters, and you have to like power up his whole like I don't know, machines or whatever to try and fix, or not fix, but turn C-3PO to change him to do whatever they did in the movie. I don't even remember, but yeah, basically that whole part would just be hacking C-3PO or whatever you want to call it, and then you would go out to like the little start of the level, and that would bring you into level 3, which we'll get to right now. Alrighty, here we go with level 3. This would be the First Order Star Destroyer. First Order Star Destroyer Infiltration. There we go. And that would basically be Rey would go off on her own, and she would go and fight Kylo. So there'd be probably a boss fight with Kylo, I think, on the Star Destroyer. And then you would also play as Finn and Poe, and I think BB-8 was also a part of that group there. And you would have to be trying to save Chewbacca, I think was the deal there. And then obviously like General Hux helps you out and things like that. But you basically just be running through the Star Destroyer as a part of the level, trying to find your way out of it, and shooting stormtroopers along the way and things like that. So generally just a full-blown Star Destroyer level going on here. And then this would also be like another, this is what I also call like another section. As you can see, we've been starting with Pasana, then going to Kijimi, then going to this First Order Star Destroyer. sequence, and then that would also have like an open world travel hub level attached to it, which we will obviously get to next. Hinting at it now, but yeah, this level is just boss fight, or maybe even you would probably start with trying to run through the First Order Star Destroyer as Poe and Finn and things like that, and then move into the boss fight at the end, and now we'll move into the open world or hub level. So this was another one where I really didn't know what to do exactly to try and like separate these two sections. So I just did Rey, kind of confronting Kylo on the Star Destroyer, and then that's like the part where they reveal that she's like a Palpatine. And I was thinking maybe it'd be like a Rey versus Kylo kind of fight again. I don't know. I just didn't really know what to do here to kind of have like this extra hub level section after this level and then before level 4. So I just kind of threw this in here. I don't really know. Again, I really don't know what to do here besides that. So maybe you could like, I don't know, maybe you have to like fight a few troopers and then maybe fight Kylo and then wait for like the Millennium Falcon to fly up, and then that will lead you into level 4. I don't know. Again, I really was struggling a little bit to figure this one out, or maybe even actually, maybe even actually, you could like this part could be skipped or not skipped, but like a cutscene, and then you would actually fly to Kef Burr, which is the next part, and then maybe like kind of going on like the grass area and exploring Kef Burr a little bit, and then that would meeting the whatever her name was, the person who helped out Finn during the Final Order fight. Forget her name, but she was the one who was like on Kef Burr with her group, and they were all ex stormtroopers. So maybe you could have that part where you're like meeting her and kind of exploring Kef Burr. Anyway, I actually don't know. Is Kef Burr one of the open worlds? I don't remember seeing it or not. I'd have to go back through and look at the map of the game, but point is, Kef Burr, that is that, or Rey confronting Kylo on the ship with the Palpatine reveal part. Doesn't really matter to me. I just couldn't think of like a bear or a thing to put in the middle between both of these levels here. Now we are on level 4, and this is a level that has already basically been confirmed completely, and this is the Kef Burr level. So basically, the idea here is you would probably play as BB-8 and Rey at the first part, maybe, and you would basically be fighting Kylo on the ruins of the Death Star. I was gonna say Star Destroyer there. That's wrong. The Death Star. Maybe you could even have another. I know I mentioned this in the Last Jedi video where I talked about how like the mirror situation with Rey and how the Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron game or Marvel Avengers game. When the Age of Ultron movie came up, they had like the sequences with Black Widow, Thor, and Captain America, where you had like the dream kind of sequences, very short but still very cool to have. Maybe they could do something very similar to that, and also the Last Jedi level idea with the seeing evil Rey, I guess, or whatever you would Dark Rey, whatever you want to call it. Maybe you could even fight her too as like a quick little boss fight too. That would actually be pretty cool to kind of separate, or actually that wouldn't really separate it, huh? That would be more at the beginning of the level then. Well, either way, it would work for me. So then I guess, including that part, you would have that part at the beginning. Maybe you fight Dark Rey, I forget what she was called, Sith Rey, and then you would fight Kylo on the actual ruins of the Death Star, and then at the final part of the level, you would continue your fight with Kylo Ren as Finn and Rey on like where I don't know. I think it was still the ruins of the Death Star, but it was like where the water was coming up and things like that. And that part we've seen many times in the actual trailers for the game. That boss fight was shown. So yeah, I would just say that that's all of Kef Burr. There was a lot of stuff going on at the Kef Burr spot, and that would just be that whole level. Just be the Kef Burr level. So, and that's already been basically confirmed. So we'll move on to the next part. For the next hub level, we got preparing to fight the Final Order on Agent Kloss. So this is basically where our characters kind of go back to Agent Kloss for a little bit, and I think this would probably be a little bit similar to, this would basically just be exploring Agent Kloss a little bit more, but this would also be a little bit similar to the Star Wars The Force Awakens game, the actual game that has come out, not my ideas, but the game, where the level where you're like the Resistance, you play as the Resistance, and you're like preparing the X-Wings and things like that. That was a really boring level, but I think the idea would be very similar, except it would be a hub level, so it would be much quicker. You do a couple missions for some Resistance fighters, and help them out with some stuff, and then you would make your way to the final level, and the final level of the game too. That's kind of wild, but yeah, this is a pretty quick part. Just kind of prepare. You're on Agent Class. You're just kind of prepping X-wings, maybe like getting the blasters ready, explosives, whatever even they did on that part of the movie, and then that would obviously take you into level 5. All right, now we are on level 5, and this is the final level, not only of the Rise of Skywalker movie, not only of the sequel trilogy, but also the final level of the game and the final level idea for the all my ideas, I guess. So this has been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying this series here, and now it is time to tell you what level 5 is going to be, and it's extremely obvious. It's going to be everything Exegol. So it would probably be separated. I think both of these parts were already confirmed, but this would be separated where you would play as Rey and Kylo Ren fighting Palpatine, of course, and like the Palpatine guards, whatever they were called, and you would obviously fight them, fight Palpatine, and then this would also be the Final Order war fight, whatever you want to call it, where you would play as Finn and also that other ex-Stormtrooper girl. I don't remember her name, and then I think also BB-8 was a part of that too, I think. And you would be fighting on like the Star Destroyer with like the horse things, and shooting at the troopers. And we've seen many different shots and scenes of that Final Order battle at the end of the movie. And we've also seen the open world of Exegol, which looks amazing with the lightning and everything. Oh, so good! I can't wait to play on that open world there. So again, this would just be everything Exegol, Rey and Kylo versus Palpatine, Final Order fight, and then that would conclude the game basically, which is pretty crazy. All right, so that was all of the levels. Again, that was everything for the Rise of Skywalker, everything for the sequel trilogy, and then we are basically done. We are done with all 9 movies. We have all the levels down for my ideas. And if you saw my DLC video talking about the DLC confirmed characters as well as putting in the original ideas that I had, that was supposed to be a Saturday video for next week, but instead I'm going to replace that with something else. So next week there is one more Saturday video that I have, and before, that wouldn't really be before the game comes out. That's more mid. Actually, I think that's actually coming out on Friday. So basically, the plan is that this video obviously will come out today. You're watching this today, which would be Saturday, March 12th. I think. Yeah, March 12th. And then next week is the beginning of the Owl House and Amphibia. So that is going to be my Saturday, and I think Friday I have one more Rise of Skywalker, or not Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga video ideas video, and then that would kind of end that, and then we would obviously move into Owl House and Amphibia for the upcoming many weeks. I think 11 weeks. So yes, that is everything. I think I got that all out, and then yeah. So if you enjoyed that video, do the comment, YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys